there, welcome back to the agenda. Now, we are marking something of an anniversary on the agenda this morning, and that is because the unemployment scheme here in the UAE has come of age. No one's bought a cake, but, it's quite a big deal if you look at it from a certain sort of business perspective, I suppose. Because as of now, if you lose your job in the UAE and you signed up a year ago to the plan, you are eligible for a payout. But how does that actually work? So if you lose your job, how do you actually get the payout? And I want to know whether anyone has actually drawn down on their policy yet. What's the date today? It's the 8th of January. They've had 8 days to lose their job and 8 days to apply. To answer all of those questions, joining me now in the studio is Dana Kansou. She's Manager of Strategic Partnerships for the Dubai Insurance Company. And they oversee that pool of 9 companies that are offering cover. Dana, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Georgia.
Great to have you here. I will say now to everyone listening that if you've got any questions for Dana, you've only got about half an hour to get them in. But she is happy to accept questions. So if you could write in now, like literally get texting straight away, 4001, or you can WhatsApp 04871 5500. And I will try to get as many of those questions over to Dana. I've got lots to ask you myself, though, as you can imagine. I bet it's quite exciting, though, having the policy up and running, because obviously you've been working on it for years.
Sure. So Happy New Year first. Thank you for having me again to talk on behalf of Dubai Insurance, who is again managing the ILO insurance pool with regards to the unemployment insurance. So as you said, we started since Jan 1st, 2023. And now after 1 year, I think everyone is excited to start submitting their claims. But it's good also today to talk about the eligibility criteria that is needed in order to be able to get this compensation. So
have you had people claim already?
Already there are few.
Really?
Hundreds of claims submitted already over the portal.
Wow.
And it's good here to mention that there are few ways to submit your claims, and this is, I think, what everyone is interested to hear. So you can go to the ILOE.ae, www.iloe.ae, click on submit a claim. And then you can submit the claim directly through the portal. The only thing that you need to enter is your Emirates ID and the mobile number. So this is one. The second channel could be the ILOE call center. So everyone can call on 600 599 555. And the call center will be able also to help them to submit their claims. And also ILOE app. Similar to the portal, someone can just download the app and submit the claim.
So what would those apps or what would the call centre ask you to submit other than your Emirates ID and your phone number? I imagine you're going to have to upload a sort of "you are fired" letter.
As of now, no. So the way that we worked on the portal is to try to support the subscribers as much as we can with the less documents required. So the only thing that you have to enter is your Emirates ID and your mobile number. Then once you log into the page, you will see all your information on the screen. You have to confirm that those information are correct. In case any of those information are incorrect, you just have to write to us or contact our call center to update this information. What we are trying to fetch as well is the date of your job loss. And this is a very important point to know, and we will talk about it. It has some eligibility to be discussed, and you will have to select whether you want your compensation to be paid through a bank transfer, and you have to enter your bank details. Otherwise, you will have to select an exchange house, which is coming very soon also. So everyone can just go to any exchange center as per the list they select and get their compensation. It has some procedures for sure. You have to show a valid Emirates ID or a passport copy in order to be eligible to get the compensation.
It sounds very simple, brilliantly simple. But I suppose we do need to get to that big topic, which is the eligibility. If I lost my job on the 30th of December, for example, am I eligible, or does it have to be the 1st of January onwards?
So for this year, let's discuss, since we started 1st of Jan 2023. So what everyone needs to know is that whenever you lose your job, the date of the job loss should be after 12 months of consecutive subscription. So if you subscribed on the 1st of Jan 2023, so if we count the 12 months of consecutive subscription without any interruption in payments, so you will be eligible for a compensation as of 1st of Jan 2024 onwards. So if you lose your job after 1st of Jan 2024, you will be eligible for a compensation, especially if you meet the other eligibility criteria as well. But this is a main eligibility that everyone needs to know, since we are already receiving some claims. Let me say the public has to know that this is very important in order to be eligible for the compensation they are looking for.
So you have to have had the policy for 12 months. There has to have been no blip in your payments, which often there aren't, to be honest, because I think quite often people just pay for the whole year up front because it's not a big number. How about other eligibility elements? So, for example, what if you are fired during your probation period, for example? Does that still count?
It counts if you already let us talk now if you bypass the 12 consecutive months. Yeah. So let's take this condition and then we will talk about the other eligibility. So yes, if you are terminated, let me say, then you will be eligible for a compensation. Also, it's good to mention that in case you lose your job, you have to submit your claim within 30 days from the last day of let me say, from the job loss date. Again, you need to cancel your work permit or under the Muhri, or cancel the contract under the Fahar prior submitting your claim, because we need to see that you really lost your job. You are not unemployed, especially if you still have a work permit valid. So this is also something that we need to mention. Other things that that you lost your job due to any reason other than resignation or disciplinary action. So this is important. So today, if you resign from your job, you are not eligible for a compensation because it's a resignation at the end of the day, and you decided to resign from your job. So it has to be any reason other than these two reasons that I mentioned.
So if it's disciplinary, so if you get caught nicking something from the stationery cupboard, for example, then you don't get the insurance.
You don't get the compensation, and this is important to know. There are also, I would like to tell everyone that they can also log into the website and they can check the policy terms and conditions, where in details those policy terms and conditions are mentioned. There is an eligibility criteria under Section 6, which they can read, and even they can call our call center for any question related to every single eligibility that they are unable to get.
Had a message here from Jawad. He says that I signed up and paid the annual fees on the 1st of March 2023. I was asked to resign last year and I did so. Today is my last day of work. Do I qualify for the unemployment insurance scheme?
So in this case, we have two eligibility that are not meant, unfortunately, which is the subscription in March means that you can only, submit your claim in March 2024, and a resignation is not a valid reason for decompensation under the ILOE.
So this is really going to be relevant for people going forward, because I think companies often ask people to resign. Maybe and people in the past might have chosen to accept that because maybe it looks better on your CV that you chose to resign. But you mustn't do that if it means that you're not going to get the money. Just remind me what people get if they are eligible for the unemployment scheme.
So there are two categories. We have two categories under the ILOE. You have category A and category B. Category A for the basic salary that is less or equal to 16,000 dirhams, and you will get a compensation of 60% of the average basic salary for the last months prior to your job loss. So what we do is that for everyone to do the calculation. So you take your basic salary for the last 6 months prior to your job loss, you get the average and you multiply it by 60%.
Okay.
And the maximum will be under category A, if you fall under category A, will be 10,000 dirhams per claim up to 3 months.
Okay.
And 20,000 dirhams per claim also up to 3 months under category B.
We are taking your calls and questions this morning on the agenda on the UAE's unemployment scheme. It is officially just over a year old. And that means if you lose your job in the UAE and you signed up to it 12 months ago, you are now eligible for a payout if you lose your job. Now, sticking with me in the studio to answer all your questions is Dana Kansou, Manager of Strategic Partnerships for the Dubai Insurance Company. And we have had a lot of questions come in for you, Dana. One here says, what if I find work after a month? So I've signed up to the scheme, I've lost my job, I'm getting money from you guys, but then I find another job and then I lose it again in 3 months' time or at the end of my probation. Can I reclaim against the insurance policy?
Again, Georgia, so let's take this condition saying that, for example, that this person has been subscribed for 12 consecutive months and this eligibility has been met. So let's say he lost his job, okay? He claimed. We paid him 1 month of claim compensation. Then he found another job. Then he lost this job. Within the same period of his certificate of insurance, he is still eligible to receive the other 2 remaining claims. So he can for sure submit a claim under the new job that he lost, and he will be eligible for a compensation.
How many months of compensation can you get total in each year?
Within one certificate of insurance, you are eligible for 3 months compensation.
And
maximum.
It can be at different times?
Yeah, it can be different times, yes. And you are eligible for 12 months of compensation during your life in UAE. Let me say your job journey in UAE.
Oh, so 12 months total. So say I live here for 12 years or... I don't know, 20 years. Yeah. I can get 12 months of compensation.
Exactly.
But obviously each year you need to renew your insurance. Yes. Olga has written in saying, hi, if my policy started in April 2023 and I was terminated in January 2024, can I claim the insurance coverage when it gets to April?
No, because the loss of a job has happened in December, we said, in January. And already she didn't complete the 12 consecutive months of subscription since the day she subscribed.
Yeah, so you do need to have that 1 year of subscription before you are valid, before you're eligible. Yashesh says, my wife joined her job on November the 6th last year. When should she sign up for the unemployment scheme?
As soon as possible. If she's already in the country, as soon as possible, she have to subscribe. For any new entry, they have 4 months to subscribe. They have this grace period, let me say, to subscribe to the ILOE.
And it's up to you individually to sign up to it, isn't it?
Yes, it's the full responsibility of the employee. The employers are, let me say, they are not responsible, but also they can support their employees by giving awareness about the ILOE and how to subscribe. And there are a lot of companies who decided, as we said many times earlier, to subscribe on behalf of the employees, and some of them also offer it as part of their sustainability, let me say, initiative or human resources initiatives, similar to any medical insurance or maybe life insurance that they offer to
or maybe even gym membership if you're very lucky. If you're very fortunate. Although that happens a lot less with contracts in the UAE because now it's a great place to live. And what happens if you don't sign up? There are fines, aren't there?
There are fines. So in case you don't sign up, and again, this is under the Ministry of Human Resources and Emeritization. But as everyone know by now, there is a fine of 400 dirhams if you don't subscribe, and a 200 dirham fines in case you don't pay your due within 90 days. And which will lead to the cancellation of your certificate of insurance.
Okay, so I've lost my job. I've claimed. And I'm getting the insurance. And then I'm like, well, I've lost my job. I think I might just go home. Can I still carry on getting my insurance payout?
So one of the main eligibility criteria is to be legally present in the UAE in order to be able to get your compensation. So it's very important that in case someone loses her job in the UAE, to stay in the UAE, to be able to get the compensation. Because the main initiative of the unemployment insurance under the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratisation is to retain the talent in the country, and this is why the scheme has been implemented.
Could you go on holiday during that time?
You can go and come back.
You can go and come back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Jenny's got in touch on 4001. She says that she's a nanny. Is she eligible for the unemployment scheme?
So for the nannies, they are mainly exempted. So they fall under the exempted categories. We have a few exempted categories, which are the domestic helpers, like the nanny, the investors that work in the same company that they invested in. There are the juveniles, for sure. There are the retirees who are entitled to a pension, and the temporary contract workers.
So once people claim, so they put in their insurance number, they put in various sort of details that you require on the website.
Only 2 details. So we made it as simple as it can be.
You did?
So you can just sign in using the Emirates ID and a mobile number, and you can just log in, check the information. If everything is fine, it will take I think around 5-6 clicks, and you will be able to submit a claim. As soon as you submit a claim, you will receive an email and SMS that will share with you the reference number of your claim. And within the process of the claim, you will be able to receive emails and SMS to the registered mobile number. For example, if we check that the claim needs some missing documents, you will be receiving a notification that please log into to your user and upload the XYZ documents that are required, or for example that your claim has been approved, your claim has been transferred, is ready for collection. So every single step of the claim process you will be notified with.
Patrick's written in with an interesting question. He says, if you lose your job, the company will cancel your visa. So how can you stay in the country to claim for the 3 months that you're eligible for?
It's a very interesting question. So if you lose your job, depends on the category that you are under. You can stay in the country for 30 or 60 days. And you can also try to get a tourist visa.
Yeah.
So even if you are on a tourist visa, we will be able to pay you. So the most important thing is to be legally present.
Okay.
So you have to legally be present in the UAE in order for us to be able to give you the compensation.
So it might be that you have to do a visa run in order to do that. But if your plan is to stay in the country and look for more work,
100%.
then it's not a big deal to just drive up to Oman quickly.
Yeah.
Just go quickly. Or there's other places as well you can go, can't you? Dana, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in the studio. Thank you so much. You've answered all the questions and more as they came in. So thank you so much for your time. We will have to have you back at some stage, because I'd be really interested to know when you actually start. Have you started paying money out
We
yet?
have received the claims, so we are studying the claims, and for sure, if whoever is eligible will get his compensation.
Yeah.
So
It's very cool.
soon, hopefully.
It's very cool. And if you want to sign up for the scheme, just a quick reminder, it is ILOE.AE.
Yes.
Isn't it? Fantastic. You've been listening to the voice there of Dana Kansou, Manager of Strategic Partnerships for the Dubai Insurance Scheme. We've been talking all about that unemployment scheme that was introduced about a year ago. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, George.
By 103.8.
Join the conversation.